Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right, you heard the intro. It is time to get sleazy. I'm your host, Sleazy, and today I am joined by Mr. PBS.
Hello.
Filling in for Robzilla. Robzilla's on a sick day. Mr. Ned. He's our resident audio engineer that never leaves. And from the Chicagoland area, Hot Sauce.
I'm here.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. It's been raining a lot the last couple of days. Couple tornadoes touched down. One over in Joliet, one up in Naperville.
Oh, wow.
A lot of storms last night.
I think we had one touchdown in like Pickaway in Fairfield County last week.
I read something about one in Pickaway County. They said it was like an E0 or something like that. So
These are both F-Zeros.
Yeah, it wasn't something terrible, obviously.
70, 80 mile an hour winds.
So we actually started to record a little bit Friday, and then we had some audio technical difficulties.
The day before yesterday. Don't use the word yesterday. I'm not very good with it.
Yeah. We had some audio dropouts that killed our, this time it didn't kill the camera, but it killed the recording. And then it killed Hot Sauce's ability to kind of join in or do whatever.
Then it just flat out killed the vibe.
Yeah, it just killed the vibe. We were like, fuck it. Just turn this shit off. Let's get going. So we opted to just kind of take a day and figure things out, and hopefully we got it. So everything's been updated, doing a different method of recording for audio in this. So hopefully it's good to go. But, when we recorded Friday, merely hours before, Vince McMahon had issued his retirement. So no more Vinnie Mac.
Vinnie Mac at the age of almost 77.
Is he 70? Was in his tweet, he says, I'm 77.
Somebody I was listening to said he was almost 77. So he'll be 77 this year, probably.
Yeah. My wife says she's 29 and we've been together for over 20 years. So we weren't dating when we were 9.
That's right. I have a friend who's 29 now. Every year is 29. It's like, just own it, dude.
I have people ask me how old I am, and sometimes I forget. I'm like, 30 something.
She lies about it so much. She genuinely forgets sometimes. When people ask her, she goes, 30. How old am I?
What does that get back to? Is it a lie if you really believe it?
Yeah, it is true.
May not be factual, but is it a lie?
What is it? What's that form of thinking that they tell people nowadays? Like, if you imagine it, it'll come, the universe will award you with it.
No,
like that line of thinking or whatever. Like, if you think it,
positive,
then it comes.
Conor McGregor shit. He did that too. Like the book. What is that called?
It's something where if you visualize it and you keep telling yourself that, then the universe will, send that to your way, and things will be true that way. But my thing is, no one's beat Father Time. I mean, some girl had a TikTok out like, how do you make people obsess over you? It's to obsess over yourself, because the way you see yourself is how they'll see you. Hey,
so that's along that same line, I think.
I was talking to Muzz, and he had listened to one of the episodes, and I was like, yeah, I introduced myself as a world-renowned podcaster. And he was like, hey, motherfuckers started doing that before, and look what happened. What was it? One of the bands used to say they were the best band, and they ended up being one of the best bands. So,
Kiss used to say that, the best band in the world, before they were the best band.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened.
I mean, we do have listeners from all over the world. So
yeah, we do. They're sprinkled out in there. It's not like hundreds, but there's like one or two here and there. So from Spain to Denmark.
Didn't we have one in like Sweden or something?
Yeah, there's one in Sweden, Germany, Japan. But I mean, I don't know if they listen to every episode. So
can we still track that? I thought they used to be on.
Oh yeah. Those are still there. I just don't look at them sometimes because they're depressing. Right. I set certain goals, in the pandemic. We were on fire, and then the pandemic kind of crushed us. I don't know what it was. People didn't listen as much during the pandemic, and
too much other stuff to do.
Right. I guess so. They were busy watching TV and trying to find money.
Like, I don't have to listen to people talk about stuff. I can just watch the stuff now.
Right. Or they were watching the news nonstop, trying to figure out if they were going to die.
Can I go outside today?
Right. Am I allowed to take a walk in the park, or is that prohibited under
Curfew kicked in. Got to get home.
Yeah, right. That is right. It feels so long ago that we had a curfew, but
Time is.
when people that lived in bars were like freaking out, like, well, what am I supposed to do? You mean I can't stay at the bar and drink until 2? No, sir. You got to go home at 10. Fuck.
Gotta go home and climb on top of your wife as much as you don't want to. You're trying to avoid her by sitting at the fucking bar. You gotta go home now and deal with it.
How many people do you think do that? They go to the bar and avoid their spouse, and then they go home and they're like, I actually have to participate in this relationship. And they're on top. They're like, fuck this. I'd really rather have a fucking Long Island iced tea than this.
Now, how many relationships did COVID save because people couldn't stay at the bar?
Well, and not only that, but how many relationships? There was like an all-time record in divorces.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Divorces being filed because motherfuckers were stuck in the house with, their significant other. And I just think people aren't meant to be together, 24 hours a day. You gotta have that period where you go to work and get shit on, and then you come home and you need your spouse to kind of pick you back up.
I mean, there's people out there who are very much like, I need attention all the time. Somebody needs to be paying attention to me all the time.
Oh yeah,
and there are people who are just like, no, I'm cool.
Yeah, they just don't care. It was probably your issue.
If nobody called, I'd be like,
I'll see you once every 2 weeks. See you later.
My phone never rings anymore unless it's a spam call, and it's glorious.
Yeah, I have the same issue too. I accidentally picked one up the other day because I was expecting the doctor's office to call me back, and I picked it up and it was like, "Hello, Mr. Emmerich, how are you doing today?" I was like, "I'm all right," and they were like, "We see you're a small business owner, and we've got a couple great deals that we want to talk to you about, and then we're going to slide you over to the lender." And I was like, "I don't own a small business," and I hung up on them. And it's kind of funny. I had J-Bone with me, and I was over at his house, and he was like, "Liar!" I'm like struggling to hit in real quick. But anyways, Vinnie Mac is out, and it's just kind of all of a sudden after the one news we talked about with him paying off his mistress.
Well, it was employee.
Yeah, his
former
employee.
I can't remember if she was a secretary or an intern.
She was a paralegal.
Yeah,
she was a paralegal, but she was paid off. What, I forget the amount. It was a lot of money.
Well,
though.
First, it turned out that like she just started with the company, right? And then I think they
her pay doubled
after that first year or whatever. Like her pay went up some really huge amount. And
wouldn't that be nice to get your pay doubled after a year? Like, I've been working 20 years and I don't think I've doubled my pay.
You want to be like Jennifer Aniston in Horrible Bosses or whatever. Your boss just coming after you like that.
Okay. You'd have to be gay if you said no to Jennifer Aniston. If you go in and she hit that door, lock on the door, and she had nothing on but the doctor's coat, and she was like, "You're going to do this or you're fired." I mean, if you said no, you'd be gay, right?
I've got morals, sir. My wife is at home. I need to leave.
Hot Sauce has a situation already. He don't need a.
No, I don't need that.
A, he don't have a boss. And B,
we're talking Jennifer Aniston, though. I mean, in that scene, looking that hot, I think your wife would call you gay if you said no and she found out. Like, what's the matter with you? Are you gay?
She'd probably be like, hell, I'd do that.
I'm sorry. I was waiting for Matthew McConaughey to be my boss.
I don't know if I get in trouble or not. Like, could I get in trouble? Would I get in trouble? Or would you be like, hey, I forgive you. Look who it is.
Everybody gets their hall pass or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so. People say that shit, but they'd be like, well, that motherfucker actually took it. But so it's funny, when this news broke, Vince McMahon was not stepping down. He stepped down as CEO of the company, and Stephanie McMahon stepped in as the interim CEO.
Well, I think she was a co-CEO, but she was like the interim president or something.
Yeah, something like whatever. made up position she had for money. But yeah, and they had her as interim chairwoman, and now all of a sudden Vince McMahon announces his retirement because he was still in charge of creative, and now he's gone. You know, this sudden retirement hours before SmackDown.
Everybody's wondering now, like, what else is going to come out?
And supposedly the word on the street is there's more dirt they've dug up in this investigation.
I saw some article pop up from some woman who was like a referee or something back in the 80s or 90s and said Vince, I think they use the word rape, that she raped her or something like that.
Vince raped her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, and exactly now, every woman that's had contact with him that didn't have a good career is probably taking advantage of it and, you know, telling their stories if they have stories to be told. So I'm not saying that they're taking advantage of the situation. You know,
well, you hear that this happens to other people, and then like, okay, I can tell my story now.
Yeah. Hey, I've said it for years. There's no way that dude could be loyal with all the. I mean, we're talking some of the most beautiful women in the world have come through and worked for WWE, and
I don't even think Vince and Linda like live together anymore.
Oh no, I mean that marriage has to have been a partnership all these years,
because I think they got a place up in Connecticut still, and then down in Florida, and so I don't even think they're together.
Isn't she really bad off health wise though? She had
I don't know.
Health issues or something.
She's been in politics for years now too.
Yeah, she ran for senator or whatever in Connecticut like 4 years ago.
She was on the Trump administration. So I mean, I don't know about her health exactly. I mean, she had her period of time where she was on the WWE too, you know, playing a role, you know, whatever they do.
Oh, Vince is looking kind of rough.
Yeah. He's still. I watched a thing where he was squatting like over 600 pounds or something like that on one of the machines. I'm like, God damn, dude. And he's talking shit too about it. Like, yeah, I can do it and you can't.
Well, I mean, you know, you got to think. I mean, Vince McMahon is one of the biggest names in wrestling.
Yeah,
like he's up there. You could say Hulk Hogan, you could say Stone Cold, The Rock, all those guys. But Vince McMahon's up there with them.
I mean, you can say what you want to say about Vince McMahon and how the PG era has ruined wrestling, but I mean, Vince McMahon is responsible for some of the best characters that we've all loved and grown up with, and WrestleMania, I mean, is his idea and his baby. I mean, I think
good, bad, or ugly. Vince McMahon changed the game.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, he's responsible for AEW in a way. I mean, if he wasn't so shitty nowadays, you know, there wouldn't be any need for competition. But yeah, so Vince McMahon's retired, so we thought we'd throw that in real quick.
You know, old Triple H, he's back like the day of. He's back as a EP or whatever of talent relations.
Yeah, he's got his old NXT gig back.
Yeah,
which NXT was phenomenal under.
Vince is still the largest shareholder though, so he's still pulling strings.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
like he's not talking to Stephanie or whatever every day.
And that's sad because how much stock did he cash out to start XFL over again?
I don't know.
I mean, there was he made a lot of moves to start that out, and it was nothing to him.
Yeah.
So it's like
I heard somebody, maybe it was like a Jim Cornette's podcast, said he still has like 80% shares or something like that. So
that's insane.
Yeah, it's not like he still won't have some say.
He sold $270 million in WWE stock to fund the XFL.
He's like Elon if he put his money where his mouth really is.
Right. So we're actually Friday before we got cut off, we tried what was it, Mountain Dew Baja Blast pineapple flavor,
something like it.
It was okay. Gotta. But I was actually shopping in Walmart yesterday, and I got this Coca-Cola marshmallows limited edition, if you can see that, but it's not marshmallow flavored, it's
watermelon strawberry.
Yeah, it's based off of the what's the DJ Marshmallow guy, whatever his name is.
I think it's marshmallow.
Yeah, it's marshmallow. I mean, I think that's what it goes by, but
it's marshmallow,
so it's his flavor. So what was it again? Strawberry watermelon. It's good actually though. I really like it. I wish they put this in full time.
It's all right. All these pops are too sugary for me anymore.
Well, they have a zero of this too.
They'll like coat my mouth in sugar.
My whole thing is I just wanted to see Rob go on a sugar shock, and he's not here. Yeah, so
That's what happened. That pineapple messed him up.
he only had a sip of it. He didn't even drink the whole thing.
Put him over the edge.
Yeah. So this morning I get a call because today was the day we're going to reschedule this recording and try to get it out for the week, stay on schedule. And I get this text. Well, this person,
Seems like he never sends these in the group chat.
no, he
anymore.
never sends it in the group because he doesn't want you two to fucking rip him. And I get this message. Hey, buddy, I'm taking a COVID test. I just woke up feeling like shit, and I actually just woke up. This is at noon, sharp noon. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm just really upset. My throat's sore, and it's really affecting me. I can't talk with this sore throat. I'm like, okay. So I'm in the shower, getting ready to go to Best Buy, pick up the thing we need to record today. And I get another message. Yeah, I think I'm out. I'm negative, but I'm out. This sore throat it's really affecting the way I talk. And I just feel like shit still. So I'm going back to bed.
That's what happens when you get up at 3 a.m. to feed the dog.
Right. And I was like, dude, you need, number one, you need to stop stressing out about shit you can't control so much. It affects your immune system. And you're already, immune, what do they call that? Immunocompromised or whatever.
Immunocompromised deficiencies.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you can't stress out over shit that you can't control. It is what it is. Just let it bounce off you and keep doing your thing. Don't freak out about it.
This is his thing, though.
I know he stresses like you wouldn't believe, and I feel bad for him because he cares. And then I was like, man, you got to start getting some fucking sleep, dude. I was like, you can't fucking go to sleep every day for 4 hours and wake up and feed that goddamn dog at 5 o'clock in the morning. That dog's got to get on your schedule.
Right.
I mean, it's okay to wake up and let the dog out, but yeah, every morning he wakes up and he feeds that dog at 5 a.m. And then he feeds it again at 5 p.m. I'm like, man, you got to get some sleep, brother.
Yeah.
And he won't sleep but more than like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, dude.
You think the truth is like Tracy beat his ass?
Yeah.
For that Frisco melt he didn't get the other day?
Yeah. He when we went to the movies to see Nope, he missed a text message. And when he was leaving my house, he sent me the screenshot. He's like, I'm getting fucking yelled at. And she was upset. She wanted a Frisco melt from Steak and Shake. And I guess he came home and the phone was like in front of the door. So she threw it at the door.
Yeah.
Supposedly she was upset, And when, it
Bro,
is
I'm not getting heated over no goddamn Steak and Shake. Fuck that.
Right. Like
that.
Throw your $100 phone for.
And you can go to McDonald's down the road and probably get just as good of food. But I guess he got home and then she drove and went and got her Frisco melt.
Oh no.
And then I guess last night or Friday night, he drove and got her another one because she wanted another one. But, there's nothing. Look, Rob's lady is a fine woman. She's a very caring person, but you know how it is. We all get in our moods. And I guess sometimes you just need your Frisco melt. And that's probably what the deal is. She probably throat punched Rob.
Probably.
And Rob can't speak today because he got throat punched for, not checking his phone.
Like
he said he took a COVID test that was negative.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Those don't detect monkeypox, so he's probably got monkeypox.
Yeah,
he's got to get the new test.
I heard WHO has announced that the monkeypox is a world threat now.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess you get like some blisters or something. Like
I just saw some article today that said that it's not presenting the way they thought it should be presenting.
I mean, you're our resident nurse here.
I'm not a
If you look up monkeypox, the textbook examples of monkeypox are not the way this cases are happening now.
Yeah.
And there was something they were talking about that how it spreads through touch or whatever.
Yeah, they say
they were talking about gay men specifically.
Oh, really?
But it's not like a homosexual thing. By the way, it spreads.
I heard that it just spread through sexual contact, or like, if you go up and somebody's got it and you hug them.
Right.
But I don't know. But I heard, was it fever, chills, and then you start to get blisters on your skin?
Not sure, but I haven't followed it super.
They say it takes like a good 4 weeks to get over it.
Mm.
That's
And
insane.
between that, you
man.
got the Ba 5 going around.
Like, goddamn, can I get another vaccine for that? I guess they can't make them quick enough. But all right, so we're gonna move on to crazy news. Do you want to read your article first, sir?
Sure, we can do that. Let me get it pulled back up over here.
I will read Robzilla's since he's not here. He was like, can't make it. Hey guys.
Did he cough on the phone?
No, man, he didn't.
What you should have said, send me that voice recording.
I should have hit the video call on him and see what he was doing.
He really did send a voice?
No.
Oh.
He just sent a text, a Facebook message. You got it, man?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. So
Right.
So mine is from NPR out of West Virginia. Emerging from a 2-year coma, a West Virginia woman says her brother attacked her. 2 years after a vicious attack sent her into a coma, a woman in West Virginia has regained consciousness, and she gave sheriff's deputies vital information that led to the arrest of her brother. Wanda Palmer barely survived the ordeal in June 2020 when an assailant used what was believed to be a machete or hatchet to attack her in her home near Cottageville, some 45 miles north of Charleston. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department said that Palmer was attacked, hacked, and left for dead. Sounds like a rap verse or something, doesn't it?
Attacked, hacked, and left for dead.
The attacker's weapon wasn't found. Palmer lapsed into a coma from which she only began to emerge in late June. The Sheriff's Department says that while she wasn't able to speak at length, Palmer managed to tell a deputy that it was her brother who attacked her. Daniel Palmer III, 55, was arrested on Friday and charged with attempted murder and malicious wounding. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department announced via Facebook. When neighbors found Palmer on her couch, she was covered in blood and circling the drain medically with massive amounts of head trauma. Sheriff Ross Mellinger was quoted telling station WCHS. Mellinger said the criminal complaint in the case described Daniel Palmer as a potential suspect due to a previous violent history between the two, according to WOWK. Wow, KTV. Daniel Palmer is currently listed as being held at the South Central Regional Jail and Correctional Facility. His bail amount has been set at $500,000.
Okay, so this is what's her name? Wanda?
That's Wanda.
Wanda. Is it further down here?
It's on you got to go to the sheriff Facebook page. Should be in your group chat.
Oh yeah. I don't want to open that.
Yeah.
So everybody can see how.
Click on the right there in the blue. Scroll down right there. Blue. Sheriff's Department announced via Facebook.
There you go.
There we go.
Like, what is it when you hear when you see that picture and when you hear like known to authorities, what do you think? In West Virginia, like, what do you think? Meth. Like, meth is the first.
Meth is the first thing that comes to my mind.
And when you hear like packed up with a hatchet, you just think like these two are like doing meth or making meth together, and the brother's like finally kicking her out of the business.
It's like that one story we read
popped up.
Oh,
the Shabusiness.
Where Shabusiness chopped that dude up in the basement, and she had no recollection of doing it.
Chopped him up and
She's
hid his body parts in various parts of the house.
I just fucked him. I didn't chop him up or anything like that. You think this dude was like, maybe she was like chewing too loud and he was like, God damn it, I told you to chew with your mouth closed.
Does he have all of his teeth?
That's
no,
I think
there's no way.
If you close up in there, I think you can tell he's missing a few.
I just want to make that like my phone background.
Use your little magnifying glass up there at the top. Zoom in. Let's get this. Let's do some work here. He might be missing a couple.
So he's dead. I think he's missing a couple.
There's a front tooth that's missing right there. Man. So how many people have you caught that look like that stealing shit in the past?
A lot.
All of them.
A lot.
A lot of them.
Hot Sauce used to have these like albums and he had them organized meticulously. And I'd be like, holy shit, man, this is awesome. He took pride in his work. But all right. So
a buddy sent me a TikTok of I'm sure you've seen the video going around. It's probably been around for a while. Like somebody's in the wine shop and they're just like throwing wine all over the floor and busting it up. And like there's a person who stitched it or whatever is like got like a bat or something in their hand, kind of putting it in their hand. And I'm like, I told my buddy, I'm like, back in the day, that's how they would have handled that.
Oh yeah. All right. So this is the one article that Rob Zilla picked. I shared it, but he picked it. Imagine that. All right. Washington, the body of a man who was sucked into a massive sinkhole that opened up at the bottom of a swimming pool in Israel has been recovered, and a couple has been arrested in connection with his death. Israeli news outlets report. The Jerusalem Post reported it took rescue crews several hours to find the 30-year-old man who was declared dead after being discovered at the bottom of a 15-meter tunnel, nearly 50 feet. That is a hell of a death, isn't it?
The article keeps saying that there's video of the sinkhole opening, but I can't find a link
Really?
anywhere on there.
His exact cause of death has not been determined. I think we can determine that. He got crushed by the pressure. The sinkhole reportedly opened up spontaneously during a company's pool party at a villa in Karmi Yosef, Israel. The couple who owned the villa,
Does that make it an act of God?
Yeah, I would guess so.
Mm-hmm.
The couple who owned the villa, a man and a woman in their 60s, were arrested Thursday night and are suspected of causing death by negligence, police said. A court decided to release them Friday under restrictive conditions of house arrest for 5 days. Oh, 5 days. All right. News reported that the tunnels that opened up under the pool were in danger of collapsing, slowing rescue efforts as crews worked to reinforce them. A rescue dog was also used in the attempt to locate Kimhai. I hope I said his name right. Video of the sinkhole. Oh, there's a link to it. Shows water.
I think it just shows kind of like what that picture is there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, I think it's just
that.
It's kind of
Look
video.
at that.
Yeah.
it just sucked them in. It's amazing no one else was killed.
Like to say they arrested the couple or whatever, but like, how do you know you have a sinkhole? I'm assuming maybe that's what they're saying, that they had some cause to know.
I don't know if it's that article or not. I've looked at a couple other ones. They built the pool without any permits or anything. So they just dug the hole, slapped the pool in, and they think that there was a water leak in the pool that eroded the ground underneath it because there's no natural sinkholes in the area.
Yeah.
And looking at that, that's a vinyl liner pool. So if they had, a shitty concrete job or something and water got between the liner, or water got behind the liner and was down there just eroding around in the bottom, and it just washed everything out underneath and created a sinkhole.
I trust you. You're our resident pool expert here on the Sleazy podcast. Video of the sinkhole shows water and inflatable toys being quickly sucked into the hole in the bottom of the pool while people walk around and stand near the edge of the gaping pit. And as people sitting by the poolside shout in Hebrew, a man is seen approaching the sinkhole, slips and is almost pulled in before he backs away. A 34-year-old man who was also at the party fell into the pit, but only suffered minor injuries, a local media reported. Newsweek reported that 4 other people managed to get out of the rapidly draining pool without being sucked in. Good Lord, that is something, isn't it? I mean,
enjoying your nice pool party.
You imagine you just sitting there with your fucking Bud Light or whatever you enjoy drinking at the pool party that you're there, catching some rays,
jumping off the neighbor's roof,
getting some vitamin D, looking at, it's a company pool party. So you're looking at the chick who has big titties at work that you're just admiring that happens to be there. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you're just fucking dead.
You're in the pool and there's no water. Like, what the hell?
Do you think his soul floated up and he was like, damn it.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like one of the worst ways to go? Like, you die so quickly that you don't realize, you're like, fuck, I'm dead.
You're walking around trying to get some fucking hors d'oeuvres or some shit and you can't pick them up and you're like, oh shit. That explains
You feel like that goldfish you flushed in 6th grade that wasn't really dead.
Yeah. Or actually you see that goldfish floating around. It's like, how's it feel, motherfucker?
Karma.
So you didn't get flushed completely, but you didn't make the sewer.
Yeah.
All right, so this was one I had picked. And it's not really crazy news like Hot Sauce said when we were planning this out, but
it's not Florida man or anything.
No, but it's still funny. Columbus, Ohio, WSYX. A man is facing a felony charge after he is accused of shining a laser at a Columbus Division Police helicopter as it flew over North Linden. Charles Taylor, 43, is charged with interference with the operation of an aircraft with a laser. A second-degree felony, court documents said. Holy shit. I'm not buying any lasers anytime soon to fuck with the pets.
Remember when like laser pointers were like a big thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody had to have one.
And you could put like different like caps on them.
Yeah.
And it would shoot out like Superman logos or shit like that.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Bringing up some childhood memories. The CPD helicopter was flying over North Linden around 12:20 a.m. Wednesday morning when Taylor is accused of shining a green laser at it, making contact with the surface of the cockpit areas. Oh, man, so those green laser ones are the ones that go really far, too, aren't they? What a dumbass. The pilot was able to direct patrol officers to the area of Janice Avenue where they made contact with Taylor. So let's keep going down here. He told officers he was using the laser to play with his dogs, and at some point he began shining it at the helicopter. What a fucking idiot. Taylor was taken into custody, and his mother turned the laser over as evidence. That's the part that makes me laugh.
Come on, Mom.
If the minute the cops show up at the door, I'm like, you don't know if there's a fucking laser in here. You just keep your mouth shut and just let them, do what they got to do, and let's be over with this.
If you guys ever see it, there's these, I think they're lawyers that popped up on TikTok, on my TikTok algorithm for a while, but they did this thing called Shut the Fuck Up Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, if the cops ever stop you, you shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Don't tell them where you're going, or where you've been, what you're doing. Just give them your license, give them your registration.
They don't need to know. I mean,
don't offer anything.
And it's like, I imagine they were like, they knocked on the door and they were like, we have reports that somebody's been shining a laser at our helicopters over here. Who's doing it?
Right.
And it sounds like he was like, yeah, that was me. I was playing with my dog. And his mom was like, here it is right here.
Right.
Because she's sick of his shit. She wants him out of the fucking house.
And that's probably what it is. She was like, I'm getting this motherfucker out of here one way or the other.
Maybe he's been shining that laser pointer at her. She's
right.
Like, this is my chance.
She's like, I'm getting rid of that fucking laser now, one way or the other.
Like, if you heard the cops rolling up, like, wouldn't you be out back, like taking it apart, taking the batteries out, like throwing it over the fence?
It wouldn't be just like giving up to them. I'd be like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. You go to the neighbor's house, and then I'd go to bed. I mean, I would not sit there and admit to it. I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never owned a laser before in my life.
Do dogs respond to lasers like cats?
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah. I mean, they see it. I mean, whether they want to play with it just depends on the type of dog, I guess.
I know cats like to play with the laser pointers. I've never seen people particularly do it with dogs.
Hot Sauce, have you ever shined a laser with your pets?
Yeah, there's studies that they've done in the last few years though that say it's not healthy. Yeah, it's not good for the animals because it gives them like a complex, like an OCD type of, because they can't never catch it. It's like they can't never get it. There's no reward for chasing it.
Right, so they get all fucked up over it. I get that. It's kind of like working in America.
Yeah.
There's no reward. No matter how hard you work for anything, you just don't get anywhere.
Like I feel your anxiety, Spot.
Hot Sauce, what was your article? Are you going to read it?
Fuck, I don't even know. What was it? I have to read it. What was it? What did I send?
Well, we got BMW makes heated seats 18 months subscription service. Educators no longer need a college degree to begin teaching in Arizona public schools.
Are we gonna add in the Kid Rock?
What was Kid Rock?
Kid Rock canceled a concert or something. All those people went nuts.
I didn't see that.
I sent a TikTok this morning of them shouting.
Dude, I'm not on TikTok anymore, man. I've opened TikTok up maybe an hour and a half in the last week. I just don't get on it no more.
I can't get rid of it.
They got the little thing in there now where it shows how long you're on it. I think like an hour. Yesterday was like 2 minutes. I opened 2 of them that my friend sent me or some shit.
What do you find?
I just don't even open it anymore.
I'll have to.
I think it's like under your settings or something.
Mine's probably like 8 or 10 hours.
If you The one article that I did share that I like. I'm doing 20 things at once here. Like if you open TikTok and then you go to your profile and then you click the top right, the three little lines, you go to settings and privacy, and then you go down to digital well-being. It'll show you time spent this week. None. I haven't been on TikTok. This is the first I've been on TikTok this week.
Okay, so you said you go to profile?
Yeah, click on your profile and then click on the top right corner, the little lines, then go to settings and privacy. Then go to digital well-being. And then you scroll down there, there's a summary. No?
Well, it's a new week, so I've been on it 19
just
minutes.
Click the drop down and go to the week prior. The week prior. Last week I spent 2 hours and 31 minutes total.
Oh, Jesus. This is bad. 17 hours and 18 minutes.
Dude, that's like a fucking part-time job. I only want to work 20 hours a week. You was on TikTok for 18.
Hell yeah.
I got
and it's not like watching it all the time. Like I leave it up sometimes while I work and just listen to it and just switch it over when it's done.
I got 9 hours and 3 minutes.
At 2 hours and 31 minutes.
I bet Rob's up in the 20s. What do you think? He's probably not that bad.
I like to get up on my day off, and I scroll through Facebook a little bit, scroll through the Messenger, scroll through Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Get on TikTok for a little bit, see if anything's going on.
I'm on it nonstop though. Like I gotta find that next funny video.
I've been doing the New York Times crossword puzzle.
All right.
I saw you did the mini or whatever.
Yeah, the subscription's like, I don't know, a couple bucks a month. I just paid for the year so you can do all the archives. So you can do further back on the website than you can on the app, but on the app it was started on like July 2015 and I'm up to like November or December or some shit now. I did one in 17 seconds.
Did you start that in protest of losing your Wordle streak?
No. I was pissed about that. The article that I had, the one that I kind of liked was the Amber Heard's lawyers filing a motion for mistrial.
Okay, go for it.
That was, where was that one at? That was on ABC. That was a Chicago thing, ABC 7. Filing suggests that juror number 15 was a younger individual with the same last name as the person who should have served on the trial. Fairfax, Virginia, one of the jurors in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial served improperly. An attorney for Heard alleged in a really recent filing that asked the court to declare a mistrial and order a new trial. Newly discovered facts show that juror number 15 in the 6-week trial was not the individual summoned in April to serve on the case. Heard's attorney wrote in a 5-page memo filed Friday in Virginia's Fairfax Circuit Court. Instead, the filing suggests that juror number 15 was a younger individual with the same last name who apparently lives at the same address. As the court no doubt agrees, it is deeply troubling for an individual not summoned for jury duty, nonetheless, to appear for jury duty and serve on a jury, especially in a case such as this, the filing said.
All right. So I wonder if they're going to get their wish, or
I haven't heard anything more about it yet. The individual,
kind of legit, but at the same time, if they're basically like an alternate juror,
yeah, I mean,
the individual who appeared for jury duty with this name was obviously the younger one. Thus, the 52-year-old sitting on the jury for 6 weeks was never summoned for jury duty on April 11th, violating Heard's due process rights, the filing stated. The person would have been 77 at the time of the trial. Voter registration lists 2 individuals with the same last name, apparently residing at the same address, said the filing, in which the names were redacted. So you got a 52-year-old that sat in on the jury for 6 weeks, but it should have been a 77-year-old with the same last name.
as if they probably just wouldn't have excused the 77-year-old.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, they're probably just like, we don't want to fucking deal with this shit again. Like, we're not dealing with it.
Can you imagine being like 77 and somebody trying to explain to you who the equivalent of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp are?
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
I just want to sleep.
Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn.
That is crazy that they didn't notice. Because I mean, when you go in for jury duty, you've got to show your license and you've got to fill all kinds of fucking information out. So I mean, how they didn't notice would be just mind blowing. Or maybe it's just Amber Heard's case throwing another softball out there or whatever. I mean, who knows? But yeah, I haven't heard too much about the Amber Heard shit because I think people are just over it.
They got the entertainment out of it.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
I just saw an article yesterday that popped up. I don't know if Hot Sauce has heard any more about it, but they're filming the Justified. I don't know if it's a series or movie or limited series or whatever.
They're bringing the series back,
but they're filming Justified City Primeval in Chicago. And I guess like a couple of people in cars like went through the barricades and were shooting at each other or something.
Oh shit!
Damn!
They had to shut down production for the day, and they found shell casings all over the set or whatever.
All right, so here you go. Here's your thing about Kid Rock. Kid Rock canceled his concert Friday night in North Dakota due to bad weather, triggering an angry backlash from fans who trashed the venue. Those are some fine Americans right there. Kid Rock was supposed to take the stage around 9:30 p.m. at North Dakota State Fair in Minoy, following 2.5-hour performance by his opening act, Night Ranger. Oh, man.
What you want to see doing a half-hour set from Night Ranger?
Right.
What's Night Ranger known for? Are they known for just that was that motoring or whatever?
Yeah, motoring.
Yeah.
We're told a storm was brewing on the outskirts of town with some wind and lightning, but no rain, which kept delaying Kid Rock's show. By the time 11 o'clock rolled around, lots of folks in the 18,000 strong audience were pretty drunk and pissed because it seemed as if the storm had passed. An officer from Ward County Sheriff's Department then walked up to the mic and announced the concert was canceled. The crowd went berserk and turned the place upside down, throwing beer cans at the stage. One guy climbed onto the stage and took a threatening stance before security tackled him. Another man was handcuffed and led away by police. Kid Rock took to Twitter to apologize for fans blaming Mother Nature. The North Dakota State Fair has released a statement citing safety concerns and promising to issue refunds to ticket holders. Wow. Yeah, I saw a bunch of TikTok videos of people, fuck Kid Rock, fuck Kid Rock. But man,
when you tell me it's a Kid Rock concert at a state fair, shit is going down.
In one of the Dakotas.
Shit is going down.
Not like they get a lot of live entertainment out there, maybe.
Right. They were like, we saved up all year for Kid Rock. I mean, Kid Rock's got a different type of crowd to begin with nowadays. So him not coming out and I gotta imagine they didn't communicate with the crowd. So they just sat around and drank for fucking 2 or 3 hours.
What show do you go to where the opening act or whatever is on for 2.5 hours?
Right.
Usually it's like the tight hour and a half, maybe.
Like why didn't they just delay them? It sounds like Kid Rock.
How many people was at the concert again? You said
18,000. They said
18,000, and the whole entire population of the state of North Dakota is 775,000.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems weird, I would think there would be some type of communication being said, like, hey,
I don't know how those things go sometimes.
Sometimes they don't say shit to you and you're just
out there.
And that's probably what pissed them off too. Yeah. But in the
I
article,
listen to Night Ranger for 2.5 hours.
And my thing is, like, he couldn't go out there and do a 45-minute set for these people after the storm passed. That's, another reason why they're probably pissed. Like, I mean, you're there, you might as well fucking do it, and get it over with.
I always figured as long as there wasn't like lightning and stuff, people will usually go out.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like here in Columbus, we have what's the Kimba place now. I forget.
LC.
Yeah. It used to be the LC. Now it's the Kimba Live venue. But they have it to where you can set up outside, but if it rains, they just flip the stage around.
Yeah, it's basically the same stage.
And you just go inside. So, but let's face it, I can't expect everybody to have the great venues that Columbus, Ohio has.
It's like, hey, I came to the State Fair to see Kid Rock. Play that. Man. What's that one song? What's his new song?
Shit. Something about America like or something.
America, fuck yeah, or whatever.
Yeah. No, Let's Go Brandon or something like that. Let's go Brandon, fuck yeah.
That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted.
They just wanted to chug some beers and hear Kid go out there and
they wanted to be
tear it up.
They wanted to be Americans.
The American badass.
Yeah. But moving along, so more news is coming out about Netflix. Our good old dear Netflix. They're in the process of testing their password. What do you want to call it here?
It's the
anti-password sharing algorithm.
Yeah, anti-password, software, whatever you want to call it. But I guess they're saying like it's set up now to where it identifies your home IP address, and that it counts that as your main thing. You can't you're not, if you log on somewhere else, then that's password sharing.
Isn't that like the terms of agreement? It's usually like people in your household, and your household is defined as whatever.
Yeah, who the fuck knows? I mean, there's so much shit we don't read. But still, it's like I can't fucking go somewhere and stay somewhere a week and log into my Netflix.
It'll let you. The article even said that. It's not going to do anything about that. It knows like, hey, this is where you live. You logged in here. Now, after like a week, hey, what the fuck are you still doing? Or after a couple of weeks, it's going to know like, why are you still here, or why are you logging in here?
Yeah. Does that just seem like a waste of time though? Like,
well, my question would be like, they're adding like for $2 or whatever.
It's $3, I think, to share.
You can add somebody who's not in your household, whatever. And my question is like, shouldn't they have done that first?
Yeah. I mean, why is it taking them this long?
Like if you just go back like 5 years and told her like, hey, we're going to crack down on password sharing, or you can just go ahead and just for an extra couple bucks add a line or whatever.
Right.
And we won't have to worry about it. We won't raise any other prices. We'll just do that. And like just kind of threaten them before that you really have to.
It's just funny how mismanaged Netflix is. Like when you hear all this shit and the financial trouble that they're in, and they lost another, was it close to 1 million subscribers in Q2? So they're in a lot of trouble.
And then you shared that article. They're about to pay Millie Bobby Brown another $10 million.
$10 million to make fucking
Enola Holmes or whatever.
Yeah, fuck that.
Season 2.
Fuck that. It's a sequel to that movie. I haven't even watched that movie.
I thought it was a series.
I think it's a movie, isn't it?
I thought it was a series.
Enola Holmes. I thought it was a movie.
Yeah,
I thought it was a movie because I watched it.
He's like, man, that was a quick fucking series if it was. But I mean,
it's a movie.
Netflix is just in some trouble, I think. You don't hear, number one, do you hear any other streaming service complain about, there's a necessity to crack down on password sharing? You just don't hear it from like Hulu, HBO Max.
Not publicly, because they're not losing money out the ass. If they were losing money out the ass, they would.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, though, you only get so many screens. So it's kind of hard to share your password in a way that wouldn't be shared in your household to begin with. You know what I mean? Like it just like you get 3 screens and that's it, or 4 screens depending on.
Don't some of those like after you sign in from so many devices, it kicks you off.
And you have to sign back in to begin with. So it just seems silly that they're spending extra money to go through this, series of events that it's just going to be a waste of money to begin with. No one else is worried about it except for them, because they're in a shitty position that, number one, they put themselves in by spending way too much money and borrowing way too much money. But you just don't hear the other big streaming services complaining about it. And, they haven't raised prices tremendously yet. Hulu's probably raised a couple bucks over the years or something like that. But, I mean, it just seems silly and then now that they're wanting to test the ad version too of Netflix, where it's a lower price subscription, and now they're saying that they're not going to be able to have all of the Netflix content in there because of prior negotiations and contracts and stuff like that. So even if you do decide to go with the cheaper version, you may not get everything you want to watch, depending on, what kind of person we're talking about and what they like and what's available. But
one of my things is like, do you rewatch a lot of stuff on Netflix?
No, not really.
Even like background stuff, like I think that was sort of like the big deal. Like when they had the office and those shows, like even if you weren't watching them, you had them on.
Yeah. and they've lost those shows. You know,
I feel like that's one of Netflix's problems.
My wife does NCIS. She turns NCIS on for background noise.
They're just, I just think they're really mismanaged, and they need an overhaul from top to bottom. I think, you know, their leadership is terrible.
I think it's a mismanagement thing, but I think this is also what we're going to see coming. They were the first. They were the biggest. Now there's more competition. Everybody is still in a growth phase. Disney Plus is still growing. HBO Max is still growing. Paramount's still growing. They're going to peak as well. And then they're going to be in the same Netflix situation. Maybe not as bad because they may not be as mismanaged. But what are they going to do when they're not gaining subscribers? Every quarter it's gain. Netflix has peaked. They've hit their top. They can't go any higher. There's too much competition. There's not enough content.
And they've alienated their customer base. You know, they keep raising price, and people are like, well, we're not getting enough content to justify this price, so we're canceling.
You know, I feel like Netflix is still like the binge streaming service.
Yeah.
And one of Netflix's problem is, unlike the other ones, like, you know, Paramount Plus and all those, they're movie studios. They have movies coming out in theaters that you'll either go to or you'll pay a premium to see.
And that's another advantage that, you know, like HBO Max and Peacock and Paramount have. They already have big budget movie studios and television studios. So they're already ready to go and put their content in one place.
And a lot of their new content comes out weekly.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I'm gonna buy Netflix for the month and watch everything I want to watch,
and then cancel it. Yeah.
Until something else comes out that I want to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I know they said with like their bigger shows, they still want to have the binge, you know, system in place. But yeah, I mean, just like Hot Sauce said, you know, Netflix has peaked and it's time for them to adapt to the market. And I don't know if they're necessarily ready to they seem very, what am I looking for here? Stingy about change.
Well, I mean, like the question is like, where do you go?
Yeah.
Because all those studios are sort of taking back their properties. And you know, Netflix, like you said, there's just not enough new content from them, and maybe not enough good content. So I think they're kind of like a bit of a punchline in a way, a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of even their good stuff may not be as good as some of the other services have, you know, like I said, they got legit movie theater movies coming out and that kind of thing. And a lot of Netflix movies, even the good ones, always feel just slightly not as good.
That's what I was going to say. You can't say that they don't have the money to do it. They did. They're not making good content. The Will Smith movie, Bright. I mean, we don't need 37 fucking Adam Sandler movies. Is it funny to watch them? Yeah. Have there been a couple? Hubie Halloween was good, but we don't need all those fucking Adam Sandler movies. Like, they're not doing the right content. They're not doing good content.
The Adam Sandler movies have really saved them in a way. You know, they had high viewership on all of those movies. So, I mean, I guess he brings his own listeners or viewerships to, you know, viewers to subscriptions. But yeah, they've really swung and missed on 90% of their content that they've brought. And they gotta just change it up and find something else and look for something else. I mean, they need their own office. They need their own, you know, something that they can create that people want to watch over and over and over again.
I think that's their real problem. I binge it, I talk about it for a week, and I'm done with it.
Right.
Maybe I rewatch it when the new season comes out or something.
I don't know, man. They're in a world of hurt, and I think they just need to, you know, whoever is on Netflix's board just needs to say, we've had enough. Thank you for your service. Let's get somebody in here with some fresh ideas.
If they've thought about releasing more movies theatrically. I feel like some of them get like really short runs. Like
they're not that good though.
Yeah.
They're not that good.
Now, I will say this, The Gray Man that just came out this weekend on Netflix, and it's out in theaters and select theaters too. That shit was good. I think it's probably the best Netflix movie I've watched.
I've heard some people say they'd rather watch Six Underground from Michael Bay.
No,
and I hated that.
That movie sucked, dude. That movie sucked. This was actually decent. It had, I mean, there's some over the top action in it, but I mean, Chris Evans was really good as a bad guy. And what's his face?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is good in it. And then Ana de Armas was in it too. I mean, I'll watch anything Ana de Armas is in.
You know my new benchmark, better or worse than Love and Thunder. That's the 2022 benchmark. Was it better or worse than Love and Thunder?
You know, I might say I enjoyed it a little bit more than Love and Thunder.
Okay.
But I mean, go watch it tonight and see how you feel.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
But I mean, it was like, it reminded me of a James Bond movie on steroids a little bit, you know, like just high octane action, nothing ridiculous like Six Underground, you know, but or no Fast and the Furious type action, but it was good. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't, you know, too ridiculous, but you know, it had some good parts in it, and I get a good laugh here and there, but it wasn't, you know, over the top or anything like that. But I enjoyed it. I had a good Saturday night watching it, and I had a couple oh shit moments, you know. So that's all I asked for out of a movie. Just entertain me.
Yeah, because I've been watching some like older '90s thrillers and stuff, and I think to myself, like, you know, Netflix should be churning out a couple of these movies every year.
Yeah,
get you a star who's maybe kind of on the outs a little bit. You don't have to pay him top dollar, but it's a name and a face that people like.
Right.
You know, you make
Bruce
the movies.
Willis will do it.
Now he's retired, man.
That's
Tubi already used and abused him.
You know, you make it, you know, relatively cheap. You don't, you know, don't go cheap on it, but make it for decent money and make it something that people are gonna rewatch, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what they essentially are going to have to do. You know, get the fading TV stars and get some of these people that are, you know, at the end of their career, like you said.
Let's get somebody a little past their prime. Get them a good script or something, you know. Get them a good director. Like, all right, we're just going to go make this movie, knock it out, and be done with it.
There's a
like, why can't they do like what was the one we just watched with the Wendigo?
Oh, was it Antlers?
Antlers, yeah. Why can't they do stuff like that? I mean, that would be something that I could see them doing that would get a little bit of praise. They could put that in a theater. They just don't make good shit. I mean, that comes down to it. They don't make good movies.
And they're not getting licensed material of good movies either. Like, have you looked at the horror section of Netflix? It's some straight shit. Like, I mean, I can't even, like, there isn't even stuff I'm like, oh, that might actually be funny to watch because it might be so bad. Like, it just looks like straight garbage.
Maybe we talked about it, but I'm always surprised they haven't done more to like physically release some of their movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Mike Flanagan, who's got a couple Stephen King adaptations. He did Midnight Mass. You know, even like Stranger Things. You think, you know, people are out there bootlegging them. We know they are.
Yeah.
And you think
I tried.
You know,
it's because they don't want you putting that Blu-ray in. They want you logging into Netflix and rewatching.
That's the thing. If you're just gonna use somebody else's anyway,
yeah.
And you think, oh, maybe I want to own Stranger Things. That's money they're gonna make. That
you would think another VHS box set of seasons 3 and 4. You know,
I think the problem is they did too many for, like, they had those things at Target for like $5.
But you know, you would think if they did that, that's extra money revenue. You know. I think they're finally getting smart now, having a Stranger Things store. I mean, they have a store period now on Netflix where you can get T-shirts and, you know, memorabilia and all that.
The physical store still open in Chicago, I believe. I thought it was supposed to close at the end of this month, so I'd have to double check on that.
I really want to go to one of those. They look pretty fun, but yeah, it is what it is. So did you guys watch Resident Evil on Netflix?
My wife wanted to, and I've heard that it is just so fucking bad. I don't think I will.
Man, I feel like I'm kind of like stuck in the middle because, I mean, the episodes are that it takes a while to get going, but like episode 3, it was really good because there were some monsters and stuff like that, but they just try to do too much in the season. I felt like it was like 2 seasons condensed into one. And then the way they butcher Wesker, man, Wesker is just, it's bad. Like, there's one scene where Wesker looks like Blade. He's rolling into this you know, umbrella corporation facility, and he just looks like Blade, and it's bad. People are making fun of it. I mean, is it the most terrible show on Netflix? I don't think so.
I think it's the lowest rated. I think Rotten Tomatoes, they said it is the lowest rated Netflix series.
Wow. That's saying something there. I mean, that's with critics too, isn't it? Or is
I
that?
think that's I think that's the people and the critics score.
Oh wow! So they wrap it into one condensed score.
No, each.
Each. I don't know. I mean, I personally wouldn't say it's the worst show on Netflix. I'm sure we could find others. But I mean, if you're a Resident Evil fan, I think it's going to piss you off. Like I was, Rob and I were talking. I was like, if they would have just called it something different, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit better. But I mean, it takes place years after Raccoon City and all that. And
who wants to see that now?
Yeah,
I want Raccoon City. Damn it!
Exactly. I want to see people getting out of Raccoon City and before the bomb goes off and all. Like, it just seems like they can never get anything right when it comes to Resident Evil. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I would say, if you're a fan, probably skip it. But if you're a fan, you've probably already watched it just to see if it appeases you. Like, I had really high hopes for it too. I was like, oh, it's a series. Maybe they'll get somebody to get it right. But
it does have an 88 audience score, but it only has a 20 critic score.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's funny. It's just not. There's a lot going on that you have to digest in this because it goes from future to past, future to past, future to past. And then you kind of get caught up and you're like, oh, okay. And I don't know. It's just, there's some things that are just outrageous in it. And like, it's just middle of the road to me. So like, I can't recommend it.
It's a Netflix series.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't even say that because, Stranger Things is phenomenal, but I don't know. Like, it's another swing and miss for Netflix. Like, I think part of the issue is there's too much freedom that they give the content makers,
I've said that before. I think even the movies I like, they all feel like they're 5 or 10 minutes too long and could have been edited down a little better.
Yeah.
Or if somebody, if they'd had like their Kevin Feige or whatever, if they'd had like some executive in-house producer be kind of like, hey, can we do this a little differently, a little better?
And a franchise like that needs somebody at the top with a vision for the long run. And it doesn't. They were like, hey, let's wing it. And if we get a second season, fuck it, we'll throw some more characters in here. But yeah, it's just, they really tried to fit too much in it. I told Rob, it's like, it should have been 2 seasons of what they put in there. Because I mean, there's 2 different storylines going on with the same characters. And you just kind of like, it just all kind of catches up towards the end.
Is it an offshoot of the main Resident Evil that we've had, like a different person's story, or is it because it's not the same characters, right?
It's not connected to the movies.
Okay.
But they do mention Raccoon City in 1997 or whatever.
Okay.
So it's kind of direct. It's kind of connected to the games, but not really.
Okay.
And I feel bad. Like,
it's set in the same universe, but it's a different story.
Right.
Okay.
But the guy that played Wesker, I forget what his name is, that black dude. You've seen him in other things before, other movies, but he was actually pretty decent in the show.
He's the one I keep seeing people on Twitter say they liked or whatever.
Yeah, he was really good in the show, but the way they wrote Wesker was just so shitty, and it's just they didn't do him enough justice.
Reddick.
Yeah.
Lance Reddick.
Yeah, like he's been in a ton of shit, and he's always good in whatever he's in. But yeah, they really shit on that
From
dude.
John Wick.
Yeah. He was the guy at the hotel. Yeah,
concierge.
Yep. But yeah, man, they just really shit on him, man, and it pissed me off, man. But yeah, I don't recommend it. But if you're bored and you feel like
for Hot Sauce, you should have said from Bosch. I still need to finish Bosch.
I did. Yeah. My friend started watching the Bosch Legacy, the new one, the spinoff. Yeah, he started watching that and said it's pretty decent.
All right, I got to get into watching Bosch. I just haven't had any time.
I loved it. Love Bosch. I got to finish the last season.
I
don't know
if I'll watch. What service is that on?
Amazon.
Prime. Okay. Yeah, Amazon. They don't swing and miss much. You notice that?
It seems they got the money, and it seems like they got the talent for a lot of things.
They take their time with picking the content they want to throw on there, and they're not just like winging money everywhere and hoping that it pays off for them. But yeah, my honest opinion is I can't recommend Resident Evil, but if you want to watch it, torture yourself, go ahead. Moving on, we got a watch list here. It's kind of like what have we been watching? So what have you been up to? You watched any good movies?
Yeah, I don't know if they were good or not. I watched. I was going through doing the DC Hub on HBO Max. So I was, watching through the Batman, Superman, the Justice League, because I wanted to ultimately get to Peacemaker because I hadn't done Peacemaker yet. So, first time I had watched Birds of Prey, first time I had watched the Suicide Squad, and then of course I watched Peacemaker.
Did you like Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey was better than Love and Thunder.
I won't say that, but I like
the benchmark. I like Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor was a fucking awesome bad guy, was he not?
Yeah. The Suicide Squad I thought was pretty good. The Suicide Squad wasn't bad at all.
Were you a fan of
the Weasel?
The Weasel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Weasel was awesome, dude.
Yeah. And then obviously finished up with Peacemaker, and I really enjoyed. Peacemaker was a really good watch. I'm glad I was able to watch that on a binge and not have to wait for it weekly because I did enjoy that.
Every fucking Thursday, I had my fucking dinner ready, and I was like, Peacemaker time. Like,
yeah, Peacemaker was good.
Peacemaker, dude.
I wasn't getting off on the opening scene like everybody else did, but I
was so good. You didn't want to do the dance or anything?
No, fucking old fucking clan dragon, Robert Patrick. He was fucking unreal.
When the one officer comes to his house and he's like, "What do you want? Chopsticks?"
Yeah, he's
so
fucking
racist.
Unreal. But his whole character is so fucking over the top ridiculous. But it was a good series. I enjoyed watching that.
I fucking love that series, dude. Like, I have a pre-order of the Eagle for the Funko Pop.
Eagly?
Yeah, Eagly. It's supposed to come out this month, I think.
Dude, I loved Vigilante.
Vigilante was awesome, wasn't he?
He was like a poor man's Deadpool. Like, I love Vigilante.
Kept getting beat up.
I think he was actually created by some of the same people who did Deadpool or Daredevil. I'm thinking Daredevil, not Deadpool.
By the way, did you see they announced Daredevil
Born
Again, 18 fucking episodes. That's what I'm talking about. Fucking thank you, Disney Plus.
Now, there is a standard that has been set, though. They better uphold it.
Exactly.
They have to uphold it.
My thing is, Daredevil's the best Marvel show that's been out.
By far.
I really hope some of the same people are involved in it that were obviously involved in the Netflix.
I hope Netflix didn't have too much involved with that. So we keep the Disney side intact, the Marvel side.
Yeah. What about you, buddy? Ned doesn't watch anything, so
Ned watches you watching whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
Ned's seen some things. That's why he's got his hat pulled down over his eyes.
Yeah. He doesn't like to see what goes on down here.
I don't know. Wait to talk about anything particular.
Whatever stands out.
I know Hot Sauce likes to hear the whole
only stuff that was after World War II.
Okay.
Only stuff that was in color.
Okay.
It's funny because I see his letterbox stuff pop up, but there's never any ratings. Like, he just says he watched it.
I gotta digest the ratings sometimes.
I don't rate a lot of stuff right away either. Like, some stuff, I think I immediately hit Love and Thunder. Some stuff I will, some stuff I won't. It's like, if I feel really, really strongly about it, I might rate it right away. Like, if I think it's really bad or really good, I might write it. I think No Way Home, I gave that one and then came and knocked it down a little bit, like after I sat on it.
Okay, go ahead. Hit us with the list, man.
Please give us years as well. Not just the title, but the year as well.
Okay. So I recently watched Night of the Demon, aka Curse of the Demon, from 1957 or 58. I watched it on TCM. This was one of Marty's like 11 favorite horror movies.
There you go.
And it's about like a psychiatrist who comes over from the United States to go over to England. And there's like a magician wizard kind of guy, and he's killed a professor using his curse. And obviously the psychiatrist doesn't believe any of that nonsense, and he kind of has to go through the whole ordeal and figure it out. One of the movies from the summer movie series was Our Hospitality with Buster Keaton. So it's one of those sort of blood feud movies where that spans generations, and they send the baby off to New York, and he comes back. And it turns out, he accidentally falls in love with the family he's blood feuding with. It's pretty good. Buster Keaton's
no, it's not.
A good time.
No, it isn't. What's the year?
Oh, that one was 19. I think that was the 1923.
Oh my God.
90, what is that? 99 years?
Fucking this guy.
Here's a newer one. A lot of the like the boutique movie labels have had sales the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone through and just kind of picked through them. And Kino has they have a lot of good sales, and their Blu-rays are like $10. And they're normally like, 15, $20. So it's just kind of like a steal to go in when they got them on sale, pick out some that maybe you wouldn't normally buy.
They're 83-year-old movies. You can buy it at Walmart in the bin for $5.
But I need the new transfer. So I bought some Chuck Norris movies, and I haven't gotten around to watching them.
I won't knock that. I won't make fun of those.
Yeah, okay.
So I got like 3 or 4 Chuck Norris movies, and I haven't gotten around to watching them. I haven't been in the mood, but I watched one called The Hero and the Terror, where Chuck Norris stops this serial killer who was killing women. And it's like 3 years go by, and the guy's been in like the sanitarium when he breaks out, and women start getting killed again. And of course, Chuck Norris, the hero, they come knocking and calling for him like, "Hey, we need you to come back and figure this guy out." But meanwhile, his wife's pregnant, and he's going to be a dad and all that. And I won't say it was good, but it had some potential. But like Chuck Norris has some cheesy one-liners, like his wife's in the store buying her outfit or whatever. Chuck Norris is standing there on the newspaper rack, and some purse snatcher comes running down the street, and Chuck Norris, chops him and knocks him down. And his wife says, like, what'd he do wrong? Like, he ran north instead of south. and it was very, he's definitely no Arnold or any of those guys. I kind of wanted to like it, but it's just not. It's just Chuck Norris.
All right. Is there anything else?
Oh, I got a whole bunch.
Oh shit!
I got
There's a ton of them, man. You open this fucking. This is the.
You just picked the next best one.
Let me see if I can tell you some ones that you might be interested in.
What's the black hole in the Umbrella Academy basement? The Kugel bomb or whatever. You just open that thing up, and we're getting sucked into all these fucking old shitty black and white 80s.
Nah, you just give your next best one.
Well, here, I'll throw a couple real quick. There was one I can't remember if it was maybe from Severn or Vinegar Syndrome. It's called Siege, and it's like a Canadian movie, and it's based on a real event where like the cops went on strike for like 42 days.
Okay.
And these guys show up to a gay bar, and they kind of mess up, and they kill one of the gay guys, and then they got to call like the cleaner in, and they got to kill all the rest of the gays in the bar. But one guy gets away, and he runs off, and he finds some apartment complex with a couple people still in it. And it turns into like sort of like an Assault on Precinct 13 kind of movie. It's pretty decent. Canada, it was a 1983-ish.
I'm gonna take your word for it, but
it's definitely if it was on streaming or something, I'd tell you to check it out. I did watch Executive Decision.
Okay.
Some Kurt Russell, Steven Seagal.
That's a great fucking movie.
I was in the mood for my 90s fix, and it's only on Blu-ray in a 3-pack with Point Break at Swordfish.
Oh wow!
So I had to buy that. Just to
I love Swordfish.
I haven't rewatched that.
I don't think I've watched that movie.
John Travolta, Halle Berry, computer hackers, and
Hugh Jackman and
yeah,
John Travolta.
Yeah.
That was
never watched it.
That was a big deal when it came out because it was the first time that Halle Berry got topless.
Oh yeah,
paid her like $2 million or something like that. I get around to watching Summer of '84. I think that's on Netflix now.
It's okay.
I liked that one quite a bit actually.
It gets really dark, man.
The beginning or the first like half hour is a little repetitive at some points, but it does get really dark. And it's kind of like
I was depressed after I watched that movie.
It's kind of like Stranger Things if Stranger Things actually got kind of dark.
Yeah.
I like that one quite a bit.
Like if Stranger Things killed Dustin off. That's what
it had the guts to kill one of the kids. I finally got around to watching It Chapter 2.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for it that much.
No, the first one was way better.
Yeah, I didn't love the first one, but I thought it was okay.
I was disappointed because they had a great cast for it, and it just
really good. They even went back and did more stuff with the kids.
It just didn't deliver.
Yeah, it felt like
fell short.
Yeah, it felt like it either needed to be longer or shorter.
Yes,
it either needed to be a series or just like a shorter movie. And I did finally watch The Last Bond, No Time to Die.
Hell yeah.
That was pretty good. It was definitely
sad at the end.
Very much a last movie in a series.
Yeah.
for better or worse. So I'm be happy to see what they do with that one.
I was so sad at the end of that movie.
But I get to the main thing. The main thing I watched lately that I really loved is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. That it's been my go-to show. 10 episodes for a season. I think they got the second season announced already, and they're filming. Brings back.
I watched the first episode and it was pretty decent, but I haven't been back to watch.
First episode's a little slow, just because it's sort of like we got to get Captain Pike back in the fold. But almost every episode's at least good, if not better.
I want a Star Trek series that's in the future, and they keep going back for whatever reason.
That's the reason I almost skipped over this series. We talked about it in the Nerd Show chat with Muzz, and I had sort of the same, like, oh, it's Captain Pike and it's Spock, and there's Uhura and Nurse Chapel. It's kind of like, but then it came out, it was getting good reviews. It's back to the episodic Star Trek, which I really love. It's like positive Star Trek. Picard and Discovery have been kind of gloomy,
right?
And I want that sort of uplifting, maybe we can make to the future kind of Star Trek, and I really got that out of Strange New Worlds.
Okay,
so I'm really
I love me some Star Trek though, but I got to be in the mood to watch it too.
Yeah. For me, it can't like TNG could be one of them background shows for me. I can either have it on and
I always turn TNG on when I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I can either like super pay attention to it or just have it on in the background.
Yeah, there's always like episodes that just kind of are like fillers.
Yeah, and
then there's some that are like really philosophically good and relate to even today's issues, and you're like, oh, I gotta pay attention to this.
Yeah. And Strange New Worlds gets to some of that, so I'm really excited to see season 2.
I really want to check it out. I've abandoned Discovery.
Yeah,
like I couldn't make it through that season 3.
I think I made it through season 1 and 2. So they said season 3 is actually pretty decent. I just haven't. Like I said, it's too gloomy. I want some happy Star Trek.
Right.
Some colors and people enjoying the future a little bit.
So I was on vacation last week, and normally my summer vacation, I stay up like late at night and I try to find like all these gems in the horror movie sections and stuff. And what did I watch? I watched.
That doesn't happen on Netflix though.
No, it does not happen on Netflix.
No gems on Netflix.
I tell you what, Tubi has a good selection of horror movies.
I see a lot of people, they're always talking about Tubi and Pluto.
Yeah. And I mean, you have to watch ads, but big deal. I mean, I look at ads as like phone time. You check my Twitter account or something.
Especially if it gives you like the timer, like 2 minutes, like, okay, I can kill 2 minutes.
And they always do that. It's got the little circle that counts down or whatever. But actually, I checked out Life After Beth. And
that with Aubrey Plaza,
and the dude that played the Green Goblin in the second Amazing Spider-Man. Oh crap! We're just gonna have to get into this. I want to knock that drink over.
Beth.
Life after Beth.
Life after.
Where is Beth the zombie?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like she dies, and her parents call the boyfriend over, which is old dude, and he comes over, and she's just in the house chilling. Like nothing happened. And they're like, yeah, she came back to life. And
dude, there's a fucking cast in that movie.
Yeah, dude.
Aubrey Plaza, John C. Reilly, Dane DeHaan, Anna Kendrick, Molly Shannon, Matthew Gray Gubler, Paul Reiser. Jesus.
Cheryl Hines. I mean,
holy
there's all
shit.
kinds of people in here. Anna Kendrick's in it for a little bit. And then the guy that played Matthew Gray Gubler, he was wasn't he the young Jim Carrey in the one Dumb and Dumber movie?
Oh, the Harry and Lloyd.
Yeah. So I mean, there's all kinds of people in this movie. But yeah, it's funny. Like she comes back to life, and it's weird. Like it's her, but she's got all these different things. Like she's obsessed with the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they always have to go hang out in the attic, and she wants to go on a hike, and they're like, no, you can't go out on a hike. You can't go out during the day. You can only go out at night, and you can't be seen. And she's like really fucking horny, like all the time. And then it's like other people start to fucking wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's one scene where the guy is like, he goes home and his grandpa's there, and his brother shot his grandpa or pulled a gun out on his grandpa, and the parents are trying to figure it out, and he's all got fucking dirt on him and shit. And then the original owners of the house walk into the house, and they've been dead for years. But Yeah, it takes it's got a great payoff at the end of the movie, but it's one of those hidden gems that
I remember a lot of people were into that right when it came out.
Yeah, it was like 2013 is when it came out.
14.
Yeah, I never heard of the movie. Never heard of
it either, and it's
I
fucking
love Aubrey
loaded.
Plaza. I love Aubrey Plaza. I'll watch anything that she's in, even that shitty Chucky movie.
I think it reminded a lot of people of My Boyfriend's Back from the 90s, where the boyfriend dies and he comes back as a zombie. Or
that was a great movie too. But yeah, I mean, not as much decay as that movie. Like she's pretty relevant, but then certain things just start happening. She becomes more aggressive and shit like that. And he's just like, yeah, I gotta kind of like break it off with you. And she's not happy about it. But it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. What else did I watch? I watched Sinister.
Okay. I need to rewatch that one. I really liked that one when it first came out.
Yeah, not a bad movie. It has a good ending to it. Ethan Hawke is Ethan Hawke's solid in everything, but I really enjoyed Ethan Hawke's role in it.
Well, that was directed by Scott Derrickson, who did the first Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah,
and I think he did maybe did the second Sinister too. I don't know if I've seen that one or not.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second Sinister, but I'd realize, well, isn't Sinister like scientifically like the scariest movie or something like that?
Somebody that was some article.
It got people's hearts pumping the most out of anything.
Mm.
Let's see here. No list, diary. Yeah, and I checked out The Gray Man, obviously. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie, man.
That's been on my to watch list.
Great fucking movie. What's his face from Indiana Jones really delivered in that?
Key Kwan
yeah, he was great in that. And then what's her face? Michelle
Yeoh.
Yeah,
Michelle, Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, she was great in it too. I mean, just a phenomenal multi-universe kind of movie. And I mean, everything about
Jamie
it.
Lee Curtis is in it.
Yep. Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis has a great role in it too. But
I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I got it. I picked it up. It was on sale for Prime Day, and I picked it up.
Okay.
So I got that, and I just sat down and watched it one night on vacation. It was great. I laughed and I was entertained. I mean,
almost everybody I follow film wise on Twitter they just loved it.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people say it's like their favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely up there for one of the best movies of the year. I give it 4 stars. Then I watched Crawlers on Hulu. It was about like these. It was an alien invasion movie, but during St. Patrick's Day, and you have to stay drunk to kind of kill off the aliens or whatever, and not make them obsess you. I couldn't stay focused in that movie. It just didn't draw me in.
Crawlers? Or
yeah,
they crawl?
Crawlers. Yeah, that's the name of it. 2020. Yeah, I just couldn't get into it. I might need to rewatch it though, because some people say they had a lot of fun watching it. I didn't, but that's what I was
Crawlers
watching.
on IMDb.
Yeah, you might have to go to. It's on Letterboxd though, but it's a Hulu original, I think.
Oh, okay. Is it? This says a TV. Who's in it?
Oh, I don't even know anybody that's in it.
Well, this says on St. Patrick's Day night of wild parties and drunken revelry, 3 unlikely friends band together to save a college town of a vicious horde of body switching aliens.
Yeah.
That says it's a TV series, dude. Season 2, episode 6.
I don't know. I watched it and I was like, this shit is. I couldn't watch it, dude. I had to turn it off.
It looks like it's
that's why you started in the middle.
It looks like it's a series called Into the Dark. It's a horror anthology series with each episode inspired by a holiday.
Yeah, okay.
It's just got 24 episodes so far.
Yeah, it was in the horror movie section.
So like they're standalone. They're long episodes, but they're standalones. Yeah,
it was just in the horror movie section on Hulu. So I watched it one night and I was like, oh, I could not get into it. Let me see here if I go to my diary. Yeah, it's in there. 2020.
Yeah, it's a series. It's a series, but they're long.
Yeah, this was 81 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So, it's called Into the Dark. the name of the series.
I couldn't get into it though. I was like, I gotta fucking turn this off or find something else to do.
Well, they seem like they're standalone episodes though too. So
yeah,
you didn't miss anything by not watching anything before.
Yeah, anything anthology. So to end the show, you guys didn't go out and see Nope, did you?
Not yet.
Nope.
I went Thursday night and I saw it with Mr. Robzilla. I have to say, man, my movie of the year, my movie of the summer that I've been counting on, waiting on. Jordan Peele he knows what he's doing, man. Like, what else can you say? He takes the UFO mythology and creates a movie around it, based around it, and then just totally mind fucks you into something else. But really good writing, really good acting. I felt like there could have been a chapter they took out of it, but man, I really enjoyed Nope. Like it was just, I was really entertained. I had so much fun watching it. And me personally, I think it's probably his best film. I know a lot of people are like, is it better than Us? And then what was the first one? Get Out.
I need to rewatch both of them. I've only watched each of them once.
Yeah, same here.
I've really been wanting to especially revisit Us.
Yeah, I want to check out Get Out again. But, and here's the thing. Like, he's not like your traditional horror kind of director or writer. Like, there's not a whole lot of like blood or gore or anything of that nature. I mean, it's just like psychological stuff and situational stuff. But
really suspenseful type things. Just kind of
yeah. But man, he fucking delivers, man. Everything that he's done has been original. It's completely different from anything we've seen in the past 20, 30 years or
elevated horror.
Yeah. I mean, he's taken shit that it was inspired him from, what's the show that you like?
Twilight Zone.
I mean, he's taken stuff from Twilight Zone to other horror movies, and he's kind of blending all this stuff together and creating, these.
Well, I mean, you listen to him talk about movies, like genre movies, like horror movies, and you can tell like he likes them.
Yeah, he's a fan.
He likes to watch them. He likes John Carpenter. He likes Twilight Zone. And I remember when Get Out first came out, everybody's like, he's a comedian. Can he do horror? And if you go back and watch some of those Key and Peele episodes, there's like some Halloween episodes or some like horror themed ish episodes.
Yeah.
You can tell that whoever was involved in those like knew the horror stuff because it was funny to people who watched horror movies.
Listen, man, in like every movie, he has a touch of humor to him, and this was, situational things that made you laugh with the characters and stuff. But, and I mean, not only that, he just casts really well. I mean,
you got to imagine like if Jordan Peele comes to you and says, hey, I got this part for you in a movie. Yeah.
And, it's not, how a lot of people complain that a lot of horror movies are whitewashed. I mean, that's not the case with his movies.
And I think he said before he's made it a point to have,
I've seen those movies before.
Yeah. He's made it a point to have a lot of minority actors, people of color and that kind of thing in his movies.
Yeah. But I mean, I got to say, man, the dude is he's 3 for 3 right now. I mean, unless you count, didn't he have a TV series of some sort?
He hosted the new Twilight Zone.
Well, he had one I thought he was involved in what was it, Amazon series?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he did something, whether it was producing or something.
He might have produced.
Yeah, I don't think he wrote for it, but he might have produced and directed like an episode or something. But nope, man, you got to go to the theater. You got to experience it on the big screen. You got to be in the IMAX with the big speakers and stuff like that. And I got to tell you though, somebody brought a fucking kid to the movie.
I was waiting for you to get to that one.
Somebody brought a fucking kid to this movie. Why would you bring a kid to a horror/thriller movie? Like, do you want to hear him scream and then have other people scream at you? But it was like at the beginning, you could hear this kid screaming and shit and throwing a fit. And it's just like, I hope this isn't going to last all fucking movie because I don't want to hear it, But I mean, people are just so fucking selfish, man. They can't just wait to get a sitter and then go when they don't have the kid,
Like I said, I feel for people who have a tough time with that and getting to the theater, but I can't see you bringing a kid.
Yeah, dude. If
like
I had a kid,
movie.
if I had a kid, I would just make the sacrifice and not go. If I couldn't find anybody to watch the kid, I can't go because that's not right. It's not fair to other people, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
The movies are a magical place, and I don't need to hear your kid screaming the whole time.
Well, you know, we talked about it too. Maybe you're thinking of Lovecraft Country.
He produced. I would say he produced for the last OG, Lovecraft Country, Twilight Zone, and Hunters, the Amazon Prime Nazi Hunter show with Al Pacino. He produced on all those.
You might be thinking of the Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah.
No, it wasn't, because it was like, it kind of reminded me of Us, the show that was. Hold on, let's see here.
What if we Lovecraft Country?
No, it was on Amazon Prime.
But yeah, we were talking about it. Like, you know, you got a lot of these movies anymore, especially like an IMAX or a super screen, and the sound is a big deal in those. And like, you're taking a little kid to these movies with these big thumping sound systems, and it's just going to damage their hearing and stuff when they're that young. Even as an adult,
man,
some of this
stuff's loud. Who cares if they can hear?
Now, the show was called Them. I don't think, maybe he wasn't attached to it. Maybe I just thought he was, or it got some kind of. Maybe it got something similar to him or something. You know, maybe people thought it was similar.
Listed on that at all.
Yeah, maybe he's not. So
he's only listed. He's only got 3 director credits, and that's for Get Out, Us, and Nope. And then the producers, the TV shows. Was it a writer credit?
I think I remember this series popping up. I don't think he's got anything to do with that. Maybe you're just thinking Us and Them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Maybe it's because the family in the series is black and you're racist.
No.
I don't even see a writing credit for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was attached to it.
You're black. You must know Jordan Peele.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it's a black horror thriller, so he's got to be attached to it.
Just like we all know Michael Bay.
Oh, you know, that's probably what I was thinking. New Amazon series, Them, labeled a Jordan Peele ripoff. I remember seeing his name attached to it. So, yeah, I was wrong. Shoot me. I don't know everything. It's been years, or probably a couple years since I heard that show. I never watched it, though. Did you? You guys obviously didn't watch it, did you?
No, I'm looking at it now. Amazon original, Them.
Yeah.
Lena Waithe and Little Marvin, 2021. Looks like it's still in production. It's got one season listed.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, man, I'm not familiar with that.
If you get a chance, man, go see Nope on the big screen. It's phenomenal. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. Mm-hmm. And it probably would have been a 5-star movie had the one chapter that was in it just kind of wasn't in tune with the rest of the movie. I mean, I didn't, you know, I think that one could have got cut out, but what's his face? Stephen Yeun was good in it. He was really good from the Walking Dead guy.
I think I saw some people tweeting about him or posting about his character, saying he'd be like a character that needs his own movie or something.
He really does, man. He's a good actor. I watched another movie with him in it called Mayhem on Tubi, mm-hmm. Where this disease like makes people irritable and violent, mm-hmm. and that was good.
I think I remember hearing about
they
that.
lock him down in the building and they put like a cure in the air vents, but it doesn't work for so many hours, so they're just all in there fucking killing each other and beating each other's asses. But I mean, Nope
kind of sounds familiar. When did that come out?
Pretty recently. I want maybe like 2017 or something like that.
I think that's about right.
But I mean, Nope.
I think that was like one of the big things he did right after Walking Dead. Or maybe right during it toward the end of his run. Spoiler alert.
But the 2 main characters were really awesome in fucking Nope. The one guy, I think he was the guy in
Get Out.
Get Out. What is his name here? Yeah, that's him. Sure enough, that is. Daniel Kaluuya. I'm, you know, butchering names left and right. What can I say? How do you think that's pronounced?
You're probably about right. I thought I saw an article where it said like he was kind of ready to get out of acting until Get Out came along.
He should, man. He's a great actor. I mean, whether or not. And then Keke Palmer, she was good in it too. She was really good in this movie. I mean, she was
like he gets good actors there. I mean,
it's kind of funny, with us, our choice of career. Fries was a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
There's a Fries technician that helps him set some cameras out.
Yeah.
And he kind of remote dials in and kind of figures out what they're doing. And he's like, you can't do this without me.
I've seen that in the last preview or whatever.
But that's kind of funny, how Fries was a big, I wonder how, like, if they had to pay Fries to be in it, or if, they were just like, oh, go ahead, know. But I thought that was pretty funny too. But yeah, I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. It would have been a 5-star, but except for one chapter of the movie that I just didn't really enjoy. I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy, but I didn't think it went together with the movie. But go see it, man.
Better than Love and Thunder.
It's better than Love and Thunder. I think it's the movie of the summer. Go fucking see it. You'll have a great time.
Hot Sauce can be like, I give this movie 2 Thor Love and Thunders.
That should be your ranking, the Thor Love and Thunder logo. So
how many Love and Thunders do I give it?
There was a
5 Love and Thunders.
There was a Tim Heidecker who does like that Tim and Erica stuff.
Right.
He had like a fake Siskel and Ebert kind of show, and they'd always rate it, and they'd be like, I give it 4 popcorns and 3 candies.
That'd be funny. Yeah, I'll give it a popcorn and a Diet Mountain Dew.
I'm going to give it a gluten-free popcorn and a sugar-free candy.
I'm telling you though,
plain popcorn, no butter.
You will fucking enjoy Nope. It's not what you think it is. I mean, obviously we all think it's something, of the nature, but I mean, they really took the UFO mythology and he really spun it into something. And man, you'll fucking enjoy it. Just listen to me on this one.
I've heard that it's kind of like his movie about making movies in a way.
It's funny because you can tell there's some inspiration from Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T. and other types of movies and stuff like that. But you can tell whoever made this movie is a fan of movies. Let's just put it that way. And he does a good job, man. It's phenomenally shot. It's well written. I mean, the flow of the movie's great. I mean, by the time it's towards the end of the movie and you're like, wow, it's been fun. But, well, that's all we have for you today. That is our episode 136. Anybody else have anything left to say before we close out?
Nope.
You don't have anything else to say? Nothing from San Diego Comic-Con that drew you in that you need to get out?
They did announce season 3 of Picard. Going to be the last season. Still haven't watched season 2 yet. Its reviews have been kind of meh.
I liked it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check it out for sure. But season 3 has got Geordi's coming back.
Geordi and Worf.
Worf's coming. I really want to see old Worf. Riker and Troy are going to be back.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the other day, it'd be a shame to have another Picard series and not have Dr. Crusher back. So she's coming back, I think.
Nice.
I wish they'd have Wesley back just once.
They wrote Wesley off in a weird way, though.
Oh, did they?
When he wrote, well, he disappears with that fucking alien, doesn't he?
Right, yeah.
So, but I read a horrible story about him, by the way. Well, it was an interview. I didn't read it.
I saw a buddy shared a TikTok about how his parents cheated him out of a bunch of money.
Took all of his money while he was acting.
Yeah, they kept all his residuals,
and they were keeping his residuals. He didn't find out that he got residuals till he was in his late 20s or something like that.
He told a story about how he was married and he had his kid, but he was getting 6-figure residuals that he just didn't know anything about.
They're struggling. They're charging credit cards over credit cards.
He's saying paycheck to paycheck, living dollar to dollar.
He's asking for some help, and they're like, "You just need to work harder, buddy." Yeah. Fuck you.
There'll be in some more movies.
Yeah, what a terrible story. Yeah, terrible story. But yeah, I'm excited for some more Picard. I love that show.
I really, historically, Star Trek season 3s have been when they get good. So I'm hoping Picard gets one really good series out of it.
Yeah, I know you were excited about Echo.
Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is. I'm just like, okay.
You don't remember Echo the Dolphin?
No.
From Sega Genesis, where you play the dolphin and you got to go through the game?
I don't remember that.
I know.
Yeah, but I don't think that's that, though.
No, it isn't.
That was ECCO.
Yeah. But it's just called Echo. So I'm like, oh, Echo the Dolphin. And on the MCU.
You don't know Echo the Dolphin?
I don't remember.
I think if you saw it, you'd remember it.
Maybe. Kind of. I don't know.
Underwater, you played as a dolphin. Echo the Dolphin.
I don't remember.
I'm sure you saw it at the video store back in the day.
Could have. What about you, Hot Sauce? Anything you want to end on?
I don't believe so. Working on the pool, and that's about it. I might be getting a raise in my allowance. And
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Anybody that gets a raise, I'm happy for nowadays. This goddamn
employee get a raise in my allowance and some new home audio surround sound equipment for the basement for the theater.
Like Joe Biden is making our lives a living hell. You know what I'm saying?
Joe Biden.
Goddamn Joe Biden lowering my gas. I was enjoying paying $5.50 for it.
I like how the thing is.
Motherfucker.
I like that. It's like well, gas prices are going down, but everything else is still up. Like, yeah, okay. Let's find whatever else to complain about.
All right, so that's all we have for you for episode 136 of the Sleazy Podcast. As always, my call to action is to get one person to listen to the show, and from there, we'll get another person to listen to the show through them. So make sure you do that. There's a little fruit fly down here or something. Flew right in front of my face. I was like, But that's all we have for you. And as always, remember to keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.